I've climbed Mount Silver, I've climbed Mount Pyre, and I've climbed Mount Coronet. I've been enlightened. I let the snow fall on my cap like red, thinking, meditating, and I've come up with the only two reasons anyone can like a Pokemon. And that is they like the way they look, or they like the way they perform in battle. Nice and simple, right? There's a I'd say small exception for the memeability of a Pokemon. For example, Stunfisk.
He's so ugly. I love him.
A memeability is S tier, but everything else not so much. So today, we're going to be ranking the final evolutions of all the starter Pokemon based on those two categories. The looks and how they perform in battle. And the looks are going to be completely biased and on my opinion, but I don't care. You got to deal with it. And the battle side is going to be more on stats because I've been battling with Pokemon since I was 13? So it's been over 10 years. So I know what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's get started with my boy Venusaur. Plant Dinosaur, sign me up. One of the OG Kanto starters. You gotta respect him. There's nothing you can do. So I'm gonna give it a 4 in looks. Looks pretty cool to me. And in battle, since I'm gonna be considering these Pokemon in Sword and Shield, I'm gonna pretend that their Mega Evolutions do exist. So with Mega Venusaur, she gets that thick fat, she's nice and plump, she can eat hits for days. And she also has a chlorophyll ability and she learns weather ball, so she has some different sets. For that, I'm gonna have to give her a 4.5 in the looks category and a 4.5 in the battle category, landing Venusaur in the A tier. Now, we don't even have to talk about Charizard's looks, that's an easy 5, undisputed. If you think that Charizard's not a 5, you're just wrong. Everyone knows Charizard's a 5. Let's talk about his battle skills. Now, without Mega Evolution, he's kinda ass, not gonna lie. But with his variations of Megazard X and Megazard Y, running special sets in the sun, or running a Dragon Dance set, Charizard can become a real threat. And for that, I'm gonna have to give Charizard a 4.5 in the battle side, averaging out to 4.75, landing him in the A plus tier. Now, Blastoise, also a demon. Turtle with cannons? Again, sign me up for these Kanto starters. Now, Blastoise looks sick. I mean, he's a fire truck, but actually a turtle. I mean, that's pretty cool. So that's a solid 5 on the looks. But in battle, he falls short. His Mega Evolution kinda trash, and he really needs a Show Smash to get things going. So for that, I'm gonna have to give him a 3. But he still averages out to a 4, landing him in the A tier. Now, these Johto starters, their battle skills are kind of trash. They get no love later on in the games, so their battle skills are slightly lower. But Meganium also looks like some doo-doo. It's a plant dinosaur, but don't sign me up for this one. She does not hit the way Venusaur does. I don't know why, but she doesn't. And her battle skills are trash on top of that. There's no reason to use a Meganium. So in the looks department, I have to give a 2. In the battle department, I have to give it 1, averaging out to 1.5, putting her in the D tier. Now, Typhlosion's a goon. He has fire on his mane. You gotta respect that. That's his bling right there. He don't need that ice, he need that fire. Gotta respect him. That's a solid 5 in looks. But unfortunately, in the battle department, he falls short, man. I can't give him too much credit because he doesn't get that many moves, and his special stat is not that high, and his speed stat is only decent. So for that reason, I have to give him a 2, and that averages out to 3.5, putting him in the B tier. Now for Alligator, also a really cool looking alligator that walks on land with 2 feet. That's a threat when you look at it. You don't want to mess with a Feraligatr. But he has a weird thing near his crotch that kind of bothers me. So that's a 4.5 in looks. And the same thing for the battle department though with these Johto starters. He really needs a Dragon Dance or Swords Dance to get things started. But his moves pool is pretty good. He gets Earthquake, Aqua Jet, stuff like that. Good stuff. But the average does come out to 3.25, putting him in the B tier. Now we land to these Hoenn starters. My first game was Emerald, so I do love these guys. And you're going to see a little bias. on Blaziken, but I'm gonna start off with Sceptile. We have a Ninja Gecko. That's awesome. And then when he uses Leaf Blade, the blades on his arms grow bigger like Bankai from Bleach. That's sick. But then when you look at his back, you realize he has a Christmas tree as a tail and some ornaments on his back. That just ruins the ninja vibe. So for that, I'm gonna have to give him a 3 on looks. And in battle, he has a Mega Evolution that does give him some boosty boost in his special attack, and speed stats. But that grass and dragon typing isn't hurting anyone when we have threats like Magearna sitting around, you know? And he really doesn't dent that many teams. So I'm gonna have to give him a 3 in battle. So his overall still comes out to a 3, putting him in the B tier. Now my boy Blaziken kicks on fire like Blaziken. You know he's wearing them Air Jordans. He can dunk a ball on top of 2 Yao Ming stacked on top of each other. There's no way you can stop this man. He jumps so high. He's a fighting chicken. And on top of that, he looks cool. This KFC Pokemon was my first starter. So there's some bias there, but that's a solid 5 for me on the looks department. And in battle, he gets speed boost and Swords Dance. He's been a threat since Gen 5 when he got that secret ability. That automatically puts him into the S tier. 5 in both categories. And our first S tier starter. Now, Swampert. I don't really know what he's based off of. I always thought he was a weird beaver as a kid, but I don't know. He still looks cool to me. He always has, and I can't really say anything other than his looks for me is a 4. And in battle with his Mega Evolution, aka Chad, aka Arm Day Only, aka Mr. Team Carry. You know he's carrying the whole team on his back with those arms. And with that Swift Swim ability, he goes fast. And he can run a leftover set with Stealth Rocks and Flip Turn. So he's a really good overall support dude or an attacking Pokemon. So that's an overall 4 in the battle category, putting him in the A tier. Now these Sinnoh starters. Everyone loves Sinnoh, right? You can't hate on Sinnoh. Hashtag Sinnoh remakes, please. But Torterra, though, looks like a ugly child of Venusaur and Blastoise. Just a failed experiment, man. I used to like him, but something about it just does not sit right. And he's not symmetrical either, which is just really weird. Everyone else is symmetrical. Look at all these starters. If you cut a line down them, you know if they're facing straight, they're symmetrical. Except Torterra. That really bothers me. I'm a nice geometry dude. I like my symmetry. But he's still a Sinnoh starter, so he gets a small boost. So his looks are going to be a 3 for me. But in battle, this guy's some doo-doo. He's some dirt shit right there because of his ground typing. There's no reason to use Torterra. He's just trash. He's an overall 1 for me in the battle department. No one uses this guy. But he does average out to a 2. He is better than Meganium, and that's all that matters. Now my boy Infernape, aka Son Goku, aka Tiny Donkey Kong, aka Large Diddy Kong. Can't go wrong with this man because he's going ape shit. You can't mess with him. That's a solid 5 for me. Fire Monkey, sign me up. Now, over the years, Infernape has fallen in the battle scene. He used to be a god in Diamond and Pearl with multiple different sets. You have special attack, mixed, full attack, stealth rocks, all that good stuff. But over the years, there have just been Pokemon that have outshined him, and he's not that bulky anymore, and the real reason you use him is to set up stealth rocks and have a focus lead. So for that, I'm going to have to give him a 3.5, but that still overall comes up to a 4.25, landing him in the A tier. Now Empoleon, look at him, he's a goon. He has a crown, he's a king, he looks like Penguin from Batman, and he's a penguin. You know he's making money on that side. Gotta respect that and give him a 4 in the looks department. But in the battle department, there's not much to say. He's really like a support type dude who runs Defog, or you could run like Choice Specs or something, but nothing too special. He's just decent overall. So I'm gonna have to give him a 3 right there. So that still averages out to a 3.5, putting him in the B tier. Now we get to these Unova starters. Don't get me started on their looks. The only one that looks decent is Serperior, in my opinion. So I'm gonna have to give him a solid 4. He's a cool looking snake. He has that like royal vibe going on. And in battle, he gets the contrary ability with his Leaf Storm, so he keeps boosting up his special attack. He gets +2 attack and he deals damage from a Leaf Storm, so that's powerful. And he gets Glare and Substitute, which is a great set to run. So in looks, it's a 4 for me, and in battle, it's a 4.25 or 4.5. I'll give him a 4.5 in battle. So he still overall lands into the A tier though. Now Emboar looking like some doo-doo bacon over here. This fire starter killed it for me, and I haven't picked a fire starter since. I don't know, something about him looks like some doo-doo. I can't really say anything. He's a solid 1. Solid 1 for me. And in battle, he is pretty strong if you give him like Choice Band Reckless with Flare Blitz. No one wants to take that hit. But that's all he got. But it's still pretty powerful. So I'm going to have to give him a 2.5 there. So his average comes up to 1.75. He's a little better than Meganium, but still, he looks like some doo-doo. Let's go on to these Kalos starters though. But Chestnut also looking like some doo-doo. There are too many doo-doo Pokemon right here. Nothing I can do, but there's too much doo-doo on my screen right now. But Chestnut, I can't really say much other than he's a solid 2 for me. That's about it. And in battle, there's no real reason to run him. He gets a bulletproof. That's pretty cool, but why would you use a Chestnut over someone like Breloom who has Mag Punch, access to priority? So he just gets outclassed as well. So I'm going to have to give him a 2 there. So that puts him in the C tier. Unfortunately, he is in the same grade as Torterra, which is some disrespect, but that's just how the grading system works. Now Greninja Goon, straight up. He's the #1 most favorite Pokemon according to the Pokemon official votes. And he's a Ninja Frog that made it into Smash Bros? I can't disrespect that. That's a 5 immediately on the looks. And in battle, he's also a goon there as well. He has the Ash Greninja form, which is just broken straight up. And then he also has his Protean ability, letting him shift types, getting stabbed in all those moves. He has good speed, outspeeds almost everything. He's a god. He's another 5 right there. And he puts us into the S tier. 5 out of 5 in both categories. Easy. Now, Decidueye looks pretty cool to me. He's an owl. Now, Decidueye is a ghost owl that shoots his feathers like a bow and arrow. Archery style. Come on, that's awesome. Great design right there for Decidueye. So, I'm going to have to give him a 4.5 on his looks. It's just awesome. But in battle, he doesn't shine as well. There's no real reason to use him like an Assault Vest set or like a Roost set, but like there are just better mons you can choose. So I'm gonna have to give him a 2.5 right there. But he does average out to a 3.5, landing him in the B tier. Incineroar is sick. Look at him. Another character that made it into Smash Bros. You know a character that makes it into Smash Bros has to look good. So I'm gonna have to give him a 5 right there. And on top of that, he's a tiger that wrestles. Love the idea. So it's an easy 5 for me. And in battle, I know he's a goon in VGC. So if I take VGC into consideration, he would probably be an S tier or A+ tier. But in singles, his Intimidate ability is good. He has slow speed, which sucks, but everything else, he has a good move pool. He has access to that move that lowers their attack and special attack and switches out. So for that reason, I have to give him a 4. So Incineroar lands in the A+ tier with an average of 4.5. Now Primarina is a pretty good Pokemon in battle. That fairy typing gives her a huge boost, and she has some decent water moves. That automatically gives her around a 4 in battle. Like, most fairy types are pretty good if you give them a good special attack stat. Even though she's slow, she can take hits and dish them out with Moonblast. In the looks department, she looks like a mermaid that did a little too much cocaine and meth. So I'm gonna have to give her a 2 right there. But she does average out to a 3, also putting her in the B tier. Now, these Galar starters are looking like some goons. We have Rillaboom, aka Grass Funky Kong, bringing in the artillery with that music, hitting them drums, making that ground shake with the music. And he is so good in battle. He has a grassy terrain ability, and he has grassy glide, which gives him priority. So you slap a choice band onto that, and you don't want to mess with it. So in the looks department, I'm giving Rillaboom a 4. And in the battle department, I'm giving him a 5. He is really, really good in the current OU metagame right now. So that averages out to a 4.5. Now Cinderace looks like an ugly Harry Kane or pretty looking Raheem Sterling. If you get that reference, you're an OG. But he's a soccer player who looks humanoid. But then they slapped a bunny face onto him. Now he's a furry soccer player, and I don't like that. They did soccer dirty. But everyone else seems to like him, so I'm gonna give him a 3 in the looks department. But in battle, though, this is where he shines. He has that Powerball move, which is crazy. That move is way too good for a starter Pokemon. And he has that rip-off protein ability, making him really good with that high speed and high attack stat. So for that, I'm gonna have to give him a 5 in battle. But his overall average does come to a nice 4. Now Inteleon looked like a ugly version of Randall from Monsters Inc., but with a water type and a sniper. So that's pretty cool. He's an ugly Randall with a sniper. But he's still a little ugly. So I'm gonna give him a 2 in the looks department. You know, I'll boost it up to a 3 for you guys. I'll boost it up to a 3. And in battle, Inteleon has some good speed and special attack. But that solo typing of just water kind of hurts him because he's not too bulky. And it's good if you're a bulky water type. But if you're an offensive Pokemon that's just a water type, it's not that great. I know you gotta run Ice Beam and like Dark Pulse, but his moveset is also very limiting. So for that, I'm gonna give him a 2 in battle. So he still overall comes out to a C tier with a 2.5. Now, this is the final version of our tier list. I think it's pretty accurate actually. Looking at it, I think I judged it fairly well and not as biased other than Blaziken. But these two Pokemon straight trash, straight doo-doo, don't want to talk about it. But everything else seems pretty accurate to me. So if you like this video and you made it this far, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, all that good stuff, you know, do it for me, because we have more Pokemon, more Nintendo, and other videos coming up. So stay tuned, guys. Peace.